When I was 27 years old, I left a very demanding shopping management consulting for a job that was even more demanding teaching. I went to take 7th class math in the New York public schools. Unlike any teachers, I made quizzes and tests. I gave out homework assignments. When the work came back, I calculated grades. What shocked me was that IQ was not the only between my best and my worst students. Some of my strongest performers did not have a stratospheric IQ scores. Some of my smartest kids was doing so well. And that got me thinking, the kinds of things you need to learn in 7th class math, sure they has rations, decimals, the area of a parallelogram. But these concepts are not impossible, and I was firmly convinced that every one of my students could learn the materials if they worked hard and long enough. After several more years of teaching, I came to the conclusion that what we need is education is a much better understanding of our students and learning from a motivational perspective, from a psychological perspective. In education, the one thing we know how to measure best is IQ. But what if doing well in schools and in life depend on much more than your ability to learn quickly and easily? So I left the classroom and I went to graduate school to become a psychologist. I started studying kids and adults in all kinds of super challenging settings, and in every study my question was, who is successful here and why? My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy. We tried to predict which cadets would stay in military training and which would drop out. We went to the National Spelling Bee and tried to predict which children would advance fastest in competition. We started rock teachers working in solitude neighborhoods, asking which teachers are still going to be here in teaching by the end of the school year, and over those who will be the most effective at improving learning outcomes for their students. We partnered with private companies, asking whether the salespeople is going to keep their trust and who's going to earn the most money. In those very different contexts on characteristics, images are such significant verdict over success, and it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is treating with the future day in, day out, not just for a week, not just for the month, but for the year, and working really hard to make that future a reality. Grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. A few years ago, I started studying Grit in the Chicago public school. I asked thousands of high school juniors to take a Grit questionnaires and then waited around more than a year to see who would graduate. Turns out that grittier kids were significantly more likely to graduate, even when I measured them on every characteristic. I could measure things like families, income, standards, achievement test scores, even how some kids felt when they were at school. So it's not that a West Boys or the National Spelling Bees that Grit matters. It's also in school, it's basically for kids at risk for dropping out. To me, the most shocking thing about Grit is how leaders we know, how leaders shine now about building it. Every day, parents and teachers ask me, how do I build Grit in kids? What do I do to teach Grit a solid work ethic? How do I keep them motivated for the long run? The honest answer is I don't know. What I don't know is that talent doesn't make job ready. Our data show very clearly that there are many talented individuals who simply do not follow through on their commitments. In fact, in our data, Grit is usually unrelated or even inversely related to measures of talent. So far, the best leaders I've heard about building Grit in kids is something called role mindset. This is an idea developed at Stanford University's by Carol Dweck, and it is a belief that the ability to learn is not fixed. that it can change with your effect. The artwork has shown that when kids rest and learn about the brain and how it trains and grows in response to trainers, they are much more likely to persevere when they fail because they don't believe that fail is a permanent condition. So growth mindset is a great idea for building grit, but we need more, and that's where I'm going to end my remarks, because that's where we are. That's work that stands before us. We needed to take our best ideas, our strongest intuitions, and we need to test them. We need to measure whether we've been successful, and we have to be willing to fail, to be wrong, to start over when with lessons learned. In other words, we needed to be gritty about getting our kids read it. Thank you.